In your humble opinion, what is the state of relationships, let's say, between heterosexual men and women these days?
I think it's corrupt. It's all. I thought it was corrupt. I thought it was corrupt when I was 20, and I'm 35. I still think it's corrupt. I don't know what's going on. Hey y'all, it's Onika
and J.R.
and you are dishing with Dainty Dish. How you doing, J.R.?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. What's going on in the world of J.R.?
I'm doing well. I've got my clown class still. Went to class this past weekend. It was pretty cool. It was neat. I got to pretend I was a piece of paper going through a fax machine. It was pretty cool.
Wow. Did you do the butt fax?
No,
No?
I don't even know
No
what that
butt fax?
is. I don't even know what that is.
Like when you take a picture of your butt and you fax it.
No, why would I do that in an improv or like in a classroom setting?
I don't know. I'm just curious.
That's a good idea, actually. That actually that's kind of cool.
It's kind of funny. I thought it would
that
be
is
funny,
cool.
like
That's
a butt.
cool. Yeah. But I
butt.
almost got killed today on my way to see a client.
Oh my gosh, what happened?
Took an Uber.
Oh,
you know
Lord.
me, I usually don't take Ubers, but I
No.
took one today, and I know why I don't take them.
What happened?
This gentleman,
if he could be called that.
Yeah, he's a gentleman. He's a cool guy.
He's a gentleman.
I mean, his driving abilities are terrible, but that doesn't mean he's a bad guy.
That's true.
So he picks me up, and he's typing in the information into his GPS of where we're going, even though it's already in his phone. Cool, no problem. You use whatever tool you need to use. But he then decides to not pay attention and go driving on the curb while he's fixing his GPS. I'm like, oh, he turns around, smiles at me, waves, and says, hey, you know. So he proceeds to leave the complex, and he makes his way to the highway, taking the scenic route. And upon exiting the highway to get, downtown Toronto, he almost sideswipes another vehicle.
Oh my gosh, don't they test these people before they allow them to drive these cars?
I have no idea, but it gets better. He then almost hits a pedestrian when
the trifecta.
Making a left turn at that onto a one-way street downtown. It was amazing, this gentleman, but he got me there on time, I guess, even though that's not
safely.
It wasn't safe.
On time.
But I'm wondering, like, do I have to give him a 5-star, like being?
Hell no! I would give him a 1-star.
But like, then he loses his job and that kind of thing, like,
No, I would give him a 1-star for reckless driving.
But I heard the sob story. I got 2 kids, a wife. I don't really
because he wants that
English.
extra tip that they do at the end now. No, I would have given him a 1-star.
Wow. Okay. Well, I haven't rated him yet. That's why I was here, because I wanted to rate him and I wanted to get your input. But,
no, I'd say 1-star. I don't care about his kids. If his kids were in the car, he wouldn't be driving like a madman. Probably not. Like, so 1-star.
Wow. Okay. Well,
I'm cold-blooded when it comes to Uber.
Yeah, you are.
I don't
oh my
mess around with
goodness.
my Uber drivers because I don't know how. I don't know how to drive. I'm the worst driver in the world. Like,
And that's why you take Uber.
Canada's worst driver. So I take Uber to have a sense of security and safety from point A to point B, and if I can't get that peace of mind, then you're getting a 1-star.
Well, not my driver
today. If I
today.
can give you no stars, I give you no stars.
You know, the thing is, he had like a pretty high rating. His rating was like 4.9.
How is that possible? Maybe he was having a bad day. I don't know. He was having a bad day.
That happens. Sometimes we have bad days. But anyway, enough about me. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm on week 9 of my facilitation course. So as of next week, I'm going to be complete. Actually, as of when this airs, I will be completed, and I will be doing a facilitation course at an education center on storytelling, which I'll definitely need your advice on.
What do you know about storytelling?
Well, the way I wanted to format it actually was I was going to have them tell their stories, but I was going to focus on how to create a timeline, how to create an outline. Like, I wanted to maybe your help with some activities, because I know you did a lot of activities.
I'm not
in your
helping
class.
you.
Don't be rude. Like, you could give me one activity. Like, I would want your input. You're one of the experts I know on this topic. So I would, as I said, I would want to like do a group where they do just a short little ditty on their story and, you know, who they are and what they're about and what's going on with them. So it's about a 2-hour class it's going to be, and I get paid for it, which is pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I get a little honorarium or whatever. So yeah, that's coming up on June 7th, and I'm really, really excited about it. I hope people register.
Maybe I'll register.
Yeah, no, so you can make fun of me and be like, this is not the way it's done.
I would see. You think I'm a meanie head? I'm
You're
not.
a meanie head.
I'm only meanie head to you because it's fun. Like, that's it.
You are a meanie head
because you were mean to me as a child. This is just
true.
payback.
It's payback.
This is just
Payback's
payback.
a bitch.
Yeah, it is.
It's a cold-hearted bitch. But other than that, I've been working a lot more than I was, which is good. Got to make those coins. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, things are going well. Fam's going good. Mom's shoulder's healing up pretty well. So I'm happy about that. And haven't been to the Durham region in a while. I think it's time I'm due for a little bit of a visit, but we'll just hold off on that for a second, just for like a minute.
You don't want to head up there
Honestly,
too quickly?
the Durham region makes me itchy. Like, it makes me so itchy.
But it's home.
But
Not to
Toronto
me.
feels like home to me now.
Oh, that's cool. Home is where your heart is.
Home is where your heart is and your stuff is. And my stuff is in Toronto. So this is where I be at. But I just, on a more serious note, actually, it's probably been about 2 weeks since this incident, but the Humboldt Broncos, I wanted to just say my condolences to the family members that have suffered from this horrific accident that took place a few weeks ago. I know when you cry, the country cries. So, you know, you're in my thoughts, you're in our prayers, and I just hope, you know, things will eventually get better. So I want to just mention that. And, it happened again.
What happened again?
Car got stuck on the Queens Key West tunnel.
Oh, did it?
Another car got stuck, and this time it was in broad daylight.
Well, you know, it happens. I mean, you're new here.
I'm new.
It happens.
I didn't realize how often it happens. It's happened like 25 times since 2014.
Yeah,
apparently.
that sounds about right.
Are thinking about like starting programs of putting up even more signage than there already is down there, so that drivers won't get confused. But I don't
once
think
you're
it's gonna help.
once you're already in it, like, it's too late.
They're calling it the Bermuda Triangle of Toronto. It's pretty funny when I read that. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. People just go in and they. If I was because I'm the girl that would accidentally drive into a tunnel.
Are you?
I would escape. I would not even bother trying to get out. I would just run.
That's typically what happens. People leave their cars and just
because they think the train's gonna come and hit them.
The streetcar.
The streetcar. Sorry, the underground streetcar.
You think the driver of the streetcar is not going to see a foreign object in front of them? Do you have no respect for the TTC employees?
I'm just like, I would be concerned, so I would run. I would just run. Because you're like, you've messed up, so you don't want to stick around to like explain. You're just like, I'll pick up the car from the tow.
I wonder what the fines are. I don't know. It can't be more than like $5,000.
No, but it's expensive. I'm sure it's expensive.
Yeah, it's one for the storybooks. I mean,
that's true.
I drove my car down there, got stuck, you know, I had to get my alignment fixed. Oh man, I was a dum-dum, you know. It could be a good story.
So you haven't asked me about my dating life in a while.
Oh, is that how you're probing me to ask you about your dating life? Okay, well, Onika, how is your lame, non-existent dating life?
It's lame, boring, and non-existent.
I like the way you added boring to that. I missed that.
Yeah,
one.
I thought you said boring. I thought I heard you say boring.
Did I might have?
I think you did.
I might have hit the trifecta.
You might have hit the trifecta of what my dating life has been.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just it's been. I have a challenge with starting relationships.
And keeping them and ending them
and ending them. The whole process of relationships, as we were talking about, I think it's just corrupt.
It's corrupt?
It's corrupt. I remember I was 20 years old and I wrote this poem, and it's posted. It's posted. Relationship Prostitution. And how it actually came about was I was speaking to a friend. He was telling me he was taking a trip to New York and he was going to be buying his girlfriend some clothes because, you know, she holds him down. And I inquired, you know, what do you mean by holds him down? Because I was still young, innocent. I didn't know the terminology. And he's like, holds me down in the bedroom. And I said to him, like, that's not a relationship. That's relationship prostitution. That's sex for the exchange of goods. How could it be that you two are finding love in this way? And I don't think things have changed.
Yeah, I got married. That's what it is.
Like,
I'm just playing.
Honestly, you said it. I didn't say it. You said I couldn't say it. So, but yeah, things seem to not have changed since my 20s.
And why would things change?
One would hope things would get better instead of getting worse.
How is it? You can't say it's getting worse. You have no idea of whether it's getting worse.
I don't know. I feel like just modern relationships, like they seem to be more of an exchange than anything else. Like it's something for something.
But
you can't get something for nothing.
But that's what relationships have always been.
They've been exchanges?
Yeah, like come on. Historically, what do you think marriage was, and like you know, what do you think? Where was that derived from? Come on, an exchange for having my offspring, giving me a boy, an heir, and I will give you, you know, this place to live, all the riches, you know, a place to eat, live, and poop. You know, like that was the exchange. And when I ask you to sleep in my bed, you will sleep in my bed.
It just seems so like disappointing. It's
yeah, the real world is disappointing.
The real world is disappointing. I like to live in my dream world where I still sometimes wear rose-colored glasses and believe in, you know, true love. But then I see what's going on with relationships and people, you know, getting involved in these exchanges, specifically, you know, when it comes to things with money and whatnot. It's very disconcerting to me.
I don't know. I mean, you have the exchange. I guess we're going with heterosexual, right? Is that
yeah, because that's the relationships I know about. I can't speak on homosexual relationships.
You would try, though. I
wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'd bring in an expert. There you go.
Oh, touche. So you have an exchange, you know, between a man and a woman, you know, so it's pretty much a sugar daddy, sugar mama type of sugar baby type of relationship all the time.
These terminologies, they just frustrate
I don't know. You
me.
threw them at me. Like, that's the reason I'm using them.
Like, because that's what I think of. Like, what I called 15 years ago relationship prostitution is now sugar mamas, sugar daddies, and sugar babies. You know, I was at work, actually. This happened. I was at work. We were in the lunchroom, and a young girl, she's about 19, said that she was considering becoming a sugar baby and all that comes with that. So another girl explained to her, you know, what that is. Like, there's a contract. They give you a certain amount of allowance. You know, it's a very serious thing. Like, it's not just a frou poo poo unspoken exchange anymore. Now they're bringing in documentation for you to sign for confidentiality, for what you have rights to, what you don't have rights to. So it's becoming a more like, it's relationships, as I said, they're going in this direction, and it's very disconcerting. Like, very.
Could it be just that you're more aware of it now?
As I've gotten older, maybe.
Because, I mean, there's always been exchanges and contracts. I mean, it's as you... I don't know if you really touched on it, but I think it's more like a money versus power thing in a lot of these relationships.
Yeah.
So, one person gets money, one person gets power, and in an ideal world, they're both happy until they no longer want to be in that particular contract.
I mean, I feel like as long as you're going into it with both eyes open, you know, maybe it could work. I mean, I'm 35, and let's say I wanted to enter into one of these contracts, which I don't. But let's just say I did. I even went on the Seeking arrangements.com website.
I don't want to go on them.
I didn't sign up or anything weird. I just wanted to read their mandate, see what it was all about, because I'd heard about it, as I said, from a friend at work. So I just wanted to kind of just do my research. And, you know, I even looked up a couple of girls that did an article about being sugar babies and what that entails. Sometimes there was sex, sometimes there wasn't. Oftentimes there was allowances given, vacations taken. One girl got a condo, you know, so it just feels so cold to me. It feels, and a lot of the time it was older men with younger women.
I kind of get it. It's more on the lines of, from the male perspective, it's like, I don't want the nagging. I don't want you talking. I don't want the relationship part of the relationship, right?
And if you could afford to enter into these contracts,
and if you can afford to pay to not have to deal with that part of the relationship, then if that's your thing, then that's your thing.
Honestly, I'm not trying to be judgmental about it. I really am not. You know, to each their own, and whatever floats your boat and tickles your fancy is fine with me. However, with that said, a lot of these, like, even in the article, I think the girls were like 23, 24. You know, they're getting younger and younger, where they're discovering these like places. And I saw a couple like even photos on Seeking Arrangements, and these girls look young.
What do you mean they're getting younger? They're getting younger. Come on, about like what, 100 years ago, 13 years old, you were married. They're not getting younger.
Yeah, but it wasn't right 100 years ago.
Or not, but let's not say 100. Let's say like 200 years ago.
Well, it wasn't right 200 years ago, but like...
What do you mean it wasn't right 200 years ago? If life expectancy, if you're dying at 40, what do you mean it's not right?
It doesn't feel right to me, being married and having babies by 13. Like, maybe because I live in this world and not that world. Yeah, maybe because I live in this world and not that world. So, but sorry, what I was saying was... It just feels like, you know, the girl I gave the example of, 19, 20, 21, like, you're still young, you're still developing, you're still learning, you're still growing. And you enter into this serious contract with an adult male that's probably got lawyers behind it, knows his stuff, is not doing it for the first time, most likely, could have multiple sugar babies, around town or the city or the world, for instance.
Everything you're saying doesn't matter.
Well, that's interesting. that shut me up real quick.
I don't know. Like, I mean, out here, I mean, you could be a man right now and dating multiple women at the same time and entering into sexual relationships with all those women at the exact same time. What's the big deal if you're doing it with a contract, and instead of taking them out for dinners and doing the relationship stuff, you're saying, this is what I want, this is the lifestyle that I live, and I want you for this period in time only. Are you down? Are you cool? Are you in? Like, what is the problem? There's a piece of paper that says exactly what you want. It is, hey, I got married, and that is the worst contract on the face of the earth that you could ever sign. A sugar baby, sugar mama contract. It's better than that contract. So therefore, you know what? Hey, you're at least putting everything up front, and you're saying this is what it is. And yo, are you in? I think that's actually a pretty neat agreement.
It still feels like prostitution, And when I think about it, it feels like there are little pretty women running around like all over the place, where they're glorifying that lifestyle. Do you remember that movie, Pretty Woman?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the first time, like as a child, as a younger person, I would have seen an instance where a love story was based on a prostitute and a businessman. And it was romanticized. Like, they had an arrangement. They had an agreement to be with each other for like 4 or 5 days or whatever. And he paid for sex, and he paid for her clothes, and she did the shopping spree, and it was romanticized, the whole situation. And I feel like that's what's going on right now. We're romanticizing something that essentially is like high-end prostitution. Okay,
but what's the difference in having a girlfriend where you pay for dinner, you buy her clothes, you pay for vacations, and you do all those things? What's the difference?
I would know about relationships like that, because relationships I've been in, I foot the bill. So I wouldn't know what that looks like or what that feels like. Well, you've just
been in the wrong relationship.
I've obviously been mixing with the wrong bunch, but I wouldn't know what that looks like or what that feels like. But personally, I know, because I'm one to not want to owe someone in a relationship. I would go half on stuff. Like I would if we're going on vacation, half on a vacation, unless he surprises me for my birthday or something.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've always done
like
that.
half on a baby. Like I go half on a baby. Like I would go half on stuff. I would let him pay for things all the time. Because I would want an equal relationship. I would want him to not feel used, and I would not want to feel used by him.
But there's other ways of using people in a relationship, not just financially, not just for sex. There's other means of using people. So I mean, if it just so happens that you're making it clear on these specific issues, what's the big deal? You've chose to enter an agreement that you're both cool with, like that you're both okay with.
Until someone's not.
And then when you're not okay with, the cool thing is, a contract. As soon as you're not okay with it, cool. There's terms to end the agreement. It's kind of
it feels so cold. Like relationships used to mean cozy and warm to me, and now I've seen too much. I know too much now. And they feel so cold.
But you're acting like you can't have a warm and caring and loving relationship. I'm not saying that can't happen. Absolutely. I mean, shoot, I think it will. I think it'll happen for me at some point. I mean, but there's just different types of relationships. There's different types of agreements. There's different types of stages that people go through, or the ways they decide to live their lives. I mean, who are you to knock them? Like, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes, yeah, it may lead to a fake, quote unquote, relationship in terms of, what we document as, the Hollywood standard relationship, which also is ridiculous. Because what are we basing what a real relationship is off of? Like,
it's true, really? Hollywood standards.
You're basing it off of Hollywood standards. So I mean, I don't really see. What's the big deal if two people can come to an agreement on what works for them? That's cool. Because at least at that point, they're both not insecure about what's going on. But if you, on the flip side, because I can see your face, I can see where you're going.
I'm about to say something.
So I'm just gonna stay quiet. Because I just feel it.
I'm talking about these young girls, because at 21, 22, they're all insecure. And they're full of anxiety about their futures and what they're going to be doing and how they're going to make money. And this is a simple, easy solution, especially if you're cute and you've got a modicum of intelligence. Like, it's an easy solution.
Yeah, so you're making a decision.
What's that going to do to your mental health in the long run? I'm thinking about your mental health too. Like,
oh yeah, okay.
How is that affecting? How is being used by a man going to affect your mental health in the long run?
But you're looking at it from one perspective. You're using the man at the same time because you're using him for his wallet. Because you're not you're 21, you're not dating another 21, 22-year-old guy that's working at, the mall, or who's in university or college and is struggling to eating ramen noodles and living, on a couch or in a den trying to make ends meet or just survive. You're going out there and finding a man with a lot of money who's going to pay for your stuff to put you in some sort of situation or lifestyle that you want. So you're using him just as much as he's using you.
But he who writes the contract has the power, as we were talking about power before. So, yes, you get money out of it. You might get a condo. You might get a couple of trips. You might get a new wardrobe. But what is that going to do to your overall self-esteem and how you feel about yourself and your self-worth? Are you only worth this price tag that this person has placed on you? Is that what you're worth? Aren't you worth more than that? And think about it in that respect when I'm talking about mental health. Okay. I feel it diminishes a woman's self-worth to be involved in situations like these, especially at a very young age when you are still developing how you feel about relationships.
But it's okay for you to, let's say, for example, be promiscuous and not get paid.
I never said that was okay.
So what, do you want everyone to be a little like I don't know, holier than thou, little?
No, not holier than thou, but make responsible choices. Have sex responsibly. Make responsible choices. That's all I'm saying.
If you're in a position where you see yourself saying, okay, you know what, this guy's attractive. I'd sleep with him anyway. Now he's just going to give me a contract. He's going to fly me a couple of vacations. Let's say you're 21, so you're like, I'm finishing up school right now. I've been stressed out for the past 4 years in school. You know what? I'll sign this contract. He'll pay for some vacations. I was going to sleep with him anyway. I'm going to get paid a little money. And then when I'm tired of this, I'm going to move on. Who cares? Like, what's wrong with that? Like, I mean, mentally, you might have thought it through. I don't know. I'm not a woman, so I don't know what that's like. I'm just thinking of it logically, and as we know,
you're the logic guy.
Yeah, ladies, you may not be.
I'm
logical.
I'm the
you're
emotional thinker.
Yeah, you're emotional.
And emotionally, I just couldn't. Personally, I just couldn't see myself entering into an agreement like this. Nothing that I have seen or heard of in these arrangements, the amount of money that people can make or the amount of stuff that people could gain, have made me change my mind about the situation. I still feel like it's high class, high end prostitution.
So I guess I want to ask you, what are these women looking for if they're settling for these
old men
that are paying for them? What are they actually looking for?
They're looking for that modern day unicorn.
That what?
That modern day unicorn.
A modern day what?
A modern day unicorn. They're looking for that guy. For me, because I'm black and I want to be a part of a beautiful black couple. So I'm looking for a black unicorn. So ideally, he would be single, childless, highly educated, maybe owns his own condo or home, never been married, and just, around in my age range. So the 35 to like 40 range. I'm very specific. Your unicorn is a very specific thing to a woman. I think it's specific to you and your wants and your needs, right? My unicorn won't necessarily look like your unicorn.
Well, I would hope not, because I like women.
You like women, exactly. So you have your own ideal woman, and I have my own ideal man, and I call that man the modern day unicorn, because I'm in a sea of donkeys, like a sea of donkeys. Like, they're swimming everywhere. As I told you, my dating life, it's bare donkeys. Like,
I ain't saying
bare
she
donkeys.
A gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke.
So I want my unicorn. Like, it's important to me that I get that. Like, what would your unicorn look like?
You're putting me on the spot. What does my unicorn look like? Okay, my unicorn, definitely someone that is, I guess, ambitious, has their own thing going on, and is a partner rather than someone that's looking for a parent. And yeah, just someone that's got their own thing going on, and we can just connect. I'm just like, I'm not really asking
Yours
for much.
Yours is not as specific as mine.
I don't know. I don't know what you're asking me. Like, what does she look like? I'm like, I
mean, you might have an idea of what she looks like. A blend of Idris Elba with the swag of like Sean Connery.
You just named two men.
James Bond. I went back to myself.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Like, no, but I'm giving you an example. Like, you could say like, I want like a, you know what I mean? What's an actor that you would feel like flavor for?
And I don't like actors in that way.
You don't like actors in that way?
You keep saying actors. Actresses?
Actresses can be called actors as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, yes. True.
Yeah.
True.
So, yeah, actresses.
Oh, you're hitting me with one of those
truth bombs.
Truth bombs.
Yeah. No, but you don't have like an actress that just makes your heart go pitter pat, like since you were younger, like whatever. I'm not talking about as an adult, because like just when you were younger.
I don't. No, I can't really think of, like, off the top of my head, like, you're just, like, kind of like, what? Who? Huh? Like, obviously, all the childhood ones, you know, like, you know, the 90s fantasies, you know, they're just...
Like Kelly Kapowski.
Who's Kelly Kapowski?
From Saved by the Bell.
She aged beautifully.
Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Oh
Shout
my
out
gosh.
to my girl.
She still looks like fire.
She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous.
My gosh, yeah, she aged well.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like a Tiffany Amber Thiessen look or whatever. You might have
Aunt
a look
Becky
that you
or
go
something.
for, like Aunt Becky. Yeah.
Laura from Family Matters.
Family Matters.
You know, like, oh yeah.
Yeah, like everyone has that. Like, I have my look. Like, I'd want like a Channing Tatum body with like an Idris Elba face, who has a Channing Tatum body anyways, and definitely like someone with like James Bond swag. Like,
well, Mr. Tatum's single now, so you might be able to.
You lie.
Yeah, I heard it. I heard it over the what do they call it? The coffee, the
Another
water cooler chat. I heard it. Yeah.
Another unicorn is now out in the wild, ladies and gentlemen.
What do you mean? You don't know?
Another unicorn is out in the wild.
You're an idiot.
We gotta catch our unicorns.
You're just trying to take other women's men.
No, that's not her man no more, according to you. That's not her man no more. Hit me up, Channing.
Oh my gosh, you no couth.
No couth whatsoever. But I had read, because for me, I would ideally, as I said earlier, like to be a BBC, a beautiful black couple. I'm either black or I'm white, really. Like, I'm nowhere in between. I'm not 50 Shades. I don't know why eHarmony keeps sending me all these different ethnicities. I just want black or white. So, but ideally, I'd like to go, like, with black. I see it with my friends and in their relationships. But I feel like, where have all the black men gone? Like, where have they gone to? Why can't I find... And I started noticing it in high school, OAC. There's not a single black face that graduated from Ontario Academic in the courses, grade 13, just in case no one remembers this. But there was not a single black man that graduated from grade 13 to go on to university courses. And then when I was in university, all the black guys used to just hang out at the bar. They'd never be going to class. So they wouldn't graduate on time. So here I am now where I am, and I need someone at this level that's of my, like ilk, like looks like me and has the same life experiences, similar life experiences as me. And I can't find that right now. And it's a huge challenge.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to give you the politically correct answer? Or do you want to give me something?
I want you to drop a truth bomb on me. Drop a knowledge bomb.
He's dating a white woman.
Ah! Woo! He said it. He said it and he meant it.
He said it and he meant it.
He said it and he meant it. Yeah, but why is that? Why are unicorns?
Well, if that's who you're surrounded by, that might be. I mean, as you said, you said that there were very few black men that you saw in the university at the university institution that you attended. Well, in kind, there are also very few black women that are in those institutions as well. And if you happen to not cross paths with that black woman or that black man for 4 years, but you're constantly crossing paths with whatever ethnicity is the majority there. And traditionally that is
white.
Yeah, white. So, I mean, if you are surrounded by, let's say 12 white women and maybe one black woman, the odds are you're probably not going to date one person for the whole time you're in that institution. So odds are you're going to date somebody that's of another race.
Yeah.
And then you might be in a certain type of position when you graduate that you end up going into a career field where you're now only surrounded by a certain type of people, right? And then so your circle of influence, your circle of people that you're around just might happen to guide you towards that type of dating.
Well, that could be a Canadian explanation. In America, they say it's because all the black men are in jail. Yeah, I was reading an article in the HuffPost, and it was saying that all the black men are in jail, incarcerated after the war on drugs in the early 90s. That's kind of shifted into the 2000s.
You clearly didn't read the book that I gave you. What is it? Incarcerating the Black Man? What was it called again?
No, incarcerating the black man.
Yeah.
I read part of it. I didn't read all of it.
Yeah, if you had read all of it, you would have pretty much gotten the whole gist of how that whole...
No, I get the gist of how that whole thing happened. But that's where they all are. They're not given the shot to graduate from places and go to post-secondary education. And, you know, they start families young and then they're imprisoned and they can't be there for their kids. And, you know, so there's some reasoning behind it there. But in Canada, like, that seems to be pretty logical what you're saying, because that's been my experience. I date white people mostly because I hang around with a lot of white people. And I'm also attracted to white people. But
yeah, I've dated outside of my race just because of the sheer people that I just hang around.
Yeah. I mean, I've also dated black men, but the caliber and quality of black men that I'm dating, I feel like I had to lower my standards, and I went for a donkey instead of a unicorn.
Oh, the quality of black women I've dated are super, but yeah, it just didn't work out. That's all. But I love the way you call it unicorns, like. Yeah. But I like the way you individualized it. So you're like, no, it's your unicorn. So it's like not really like this figment of the general imagination.
No,
it's your imagination.
It's your myth. It's your legend.
And the person might just show up one day. You never know. You might have already met them and you don't even realize it. You know, like all that kind of stuff happens.
I know. I'm still waiting for my meet cute.
Okay, you know what? I thought you made that up. I'm not gonna lie.
You did it.
I swear I thought you just made that term up, and then I was reading a blog, not an article, a blog, and it was in there. So I didn't know if it was actually real, and I thought it might have been a made up term that you kind of just stole. So then I kind of looked it up a few more times, and it kind of, the general consensus is that moment when you
first meet the person that you fall in love with.
And I'm like,
it's called a meet cute.
Yeah.
It's from the movies. It's a movie term.
Oh, you and your movie terms.
Me and my movie terms. I live life like a movie.
You live it like you're a rock star.
Like a rock star, always.
People have told me recently that I live my life like it's a movie. I've been told that.
Yeah, I think I told you that recently.
Was it you?
Yeah,
no, but there's more than one person that said it. That's the reason why it kind of stood out when you mentioned it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just kind of been doing whatever I want, and just kind of looks like a movie, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, well, but you've been a movie. You are a movie. I
am a movie. My Each True Hollywood Story will be out in 2020.
More like 2030.
2020. Each True Hollywood Story.
2030 to a big screen near you.
Yeah, coming to the theater. But it was one of those things, like, I'm gonna keep going until I find my unicorn, and I'm definitely not gonna prostitute myself in the process. You know, I'm gonna make sure that it's equal rights, equal pay, equal rights like we talked about last week or the week before. And I'm going to make sure my relationship is balanced. I'm hoping that I do find someone eventually, but you know, everybody's got to kiss a couple donkeys before they find their unicorn. So I guess that's the phase I'm at right now.
Kissing some donkeys.
Kissing some asses. Kissing some asses before I kick some ass, I guess.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, so that's what's up right now. But if you guys want to share your stories about what your unicorn looks like, because I'm super interested. And if you want to get at me for saying that the sugar baby, sugar daddy, sugar mama situation is not necessarily ideal, and you have an opinion on that, I would more than love to debate with you. So yeah, I'm not even just saying I'd like to hear it. I'd like to debate with you because I'm really feeling passionate about this topic. So JR, please let them know where they can reach us.
Yeah, you can reach us at dysh, dysh, at daintydysh.com. That's DAINTY, Onika, what's going on onikadainty.com?
As I said, I hope you guys all go and read my poem, Relationship Prostitution. I wrote it in 2003 on the bus, the O train, the OC Transpo. And I love it. It's one of my favorites. And I hope you guys love it too.
Yeah, your throwback last week.
Throwback.
On the All Kinds of Crazy. Nadine was talking about...
her ADHD and
the
OC Transpo when she was talking about the OC Transpo situation with her.
Yeah, that's that I remembered there. Yeah, anyway. Anyway, you can check us out on Instagram. Onika's at Best of Onika. You can check me out Best of J.R. if you are listening to us on Apple Podcasts, you can
give us a 5. You deserve 5.
and also subscribe. If you're listening to us on YouTube, please subscribe, give us a like. If you're listening to us on SoundCloud or any other platform, please continue to listen, give us a subscribe or a like. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. We have enjoyed the feedback that we've received. Thank you so much for the positive feedback. We truly appreciate it. That's it for me.
And I'm just going to plug myself one more time, guys. Empowering Women to Succeed, the Leap edition, coming out May 30th. I have my chapter in that book. It will be available to you. I'm so excited, and I hope you all read and enjoy. That has been the dish of the day, and I hope you have a very, very, very happy hump day.